Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us in our MWC board interview series. Today I have Jaqueline with me. She's our WCA liaison. Turn it over to you, Jaqueline.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jaqueline Gershman. I am the Director of Member Services at the Winnipeg Construction Association.
Thank you so much for joining me this morning. So can you tell me a little bit more about your background and how or why you got into the construction industry?
Yeah, sure. So I actually started in the construction industry out of university. I went to university for a year or two, I think it was. And then my dad, who worked at a construction company at the time, it's not in business anymore, but it was called Comstock Canada, got me a summer gig there, and I worked there in the accounting department, and I liked being there so much, and I think at the time I liked the money. I stayed, and I didn't go back to university. So I was there for quite a few years. I worked in the accounting department in different roles. I was the accounts payable, accounts receivable, general accounting, branch manager accounting role I did, helped out in the front desk area. So I stayed there for quite a while. I loved it, loved the people. And then at one point my dad said, I'm not sure, this is not really looking too good. Maybe you should start looking. So I did. And I ended up getting a job at Investors Group. So I went completely in the opposite direction into the big corporate finance world. So I went from an office of about 30 people to a building that had over 1,000 people. So about a year or so of culture shock of being with around all these people and not knowing who anybody is. I worked there for quite a few years as well. I was a business analyst. I didn't know anything about that. I learned that on the job. Then I went into what's called a compliance auditor or examiner. We did audits on the the planners that were in the industry all across the country. So with that role, I traveled a lot, and I got to see a lot of Canada that I'd never had a chance to do. So that was really great. And then from there, I went into the training department. I learned the back part of it, where you created the training, and then I ended up getting into the front-facing part of it, which I really enjoyed. And then they decided to do a big restructuring of the company, and half of my department got let go with a whole bunch of other people within the company. And so then I was not working for a while, couldn't find anything, and took some time off. So then I just kind of worked like at a winter's home sense just to get out of the house because I was just getting so crazy. And then I got a job here with the Construction Association in 2020 as a business development manager. And then when Kelly Thiessen, who did the member services, retired, they asked me if I wanted to take on the role, and I did. And I really enjoy it because I love talking to people and being involved with that, and trying to help them out. So it's been a great shift for me.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, and what a varied background too. That's so cool. It's always neat to hear the different stories of how people got to where they are now, right? So, so can you tell me what you like best about your job or the industry?
I like being in the construction industry because I just find, having worked in construction and then working in finance and that, I just find people are more authentic who they are. What you see is kind of what you get. There's never you're trying to figure out if there's an ulterior motive or whatever. And people work hard. They're trying to do their livelihoods. And I saw my dad struggle. And he was a plumber by trade, and he came from Germany and moved to Canada and was working in the field and different roles. And then he started Comstock Canada, and he started in the field, being just a journey person, and then became a superintendent, and then a foreman, and then moved into the office, and then he eventually became a vice president of the whole division there. So it was good to see the different industries, but I like this one a lot better. So I like the people better.
Yeah, and you kind of touched there just on the opportunity, for your dad and things like that throughout his career. So is there anything you'd like to see? Is there anything you'd like to see changed in our industry?
I think we are just a little bit slower on the diversity part, increasing the women within the industry, increasing just any minority of it. We're getting better, but I'd like to see that, change where, women are in the, not so much in the office setting, more in the field setting, where they're not feeling so completely different, and they're not feeling uncomfortable where they're working because of it's always been a guy's kind of industry. I think that we need to start taking that back and, saying, women are just as capable, if not more, than men counterparts, and we should be treated that way.
That's perfect. What a great response. And it actually kind of ties into my next question. So why is volunteering on the board and supporting MWC important to you?
So this one's a little bit fun. When I got into the new role, that was kind of part of my role. So it was like, you're now going to be this person and doing this. And I went, oh, okay, cool. But it's been fun to come in and see the different women that are on the board as well, like how they're, we have some that are in the field, we have some that are in the office, and to see how they're embracing what they're doing and how they're trying to charge forward and trying to bring more women in and educate them and support them, so that they can feel more comfortable as well being within the industry that they've chosen to be in, and not feel every day's a drudge having to go to work. Instead, looking forward to it. And yeah, I think that's my answer. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on that, but I can't think of anything else.
No, that's, again, a great response. And, that's kind of a common thread when you talk to a lot of the women on the board, and that's what they feel too. So that's fantastic. And it's always great to have that support. So we're going to kind of, switch gears here a little bit and kind of just get to know you a little bit more personally. So what is or has been your favorite vacation?
Well, that one's really easy. So I was lucky enough to go to Tahiti in 2019. And it was not actually, it was our mom's dream trip. My mom died when I was 16, my sister was younger, and she had always wanted to go, and my sister and I always said we would go. So my sister had a milestone birthday that year, and she said, I'm going, and I wasn't working, and I went, I put the money aside, and I said, my husband, we're going. I said, we may never go. And we did, and it was the best thing we'd ever done. She was part of us the whole trip, and we left a part of her there. We had some jewelry, my sister, kind of melted down in little pieces, and we left them in the ocean, and it was really awesome. And we're glad, because now with COVID, when COVID hit, and couldn't travel, and the pricing and how crazy it is, like, we're all so happy that we did that. And it'll be.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah, that's so glad to hear you were able to do that. And so sentimental. What an amazing trip. So what is your current recommend for favorite book, movie, or TV show?
Books, I haven't been reading as much as I used to. I'm really into reading Harlan Coben books, like murder mystery. I love the Jack Reacher series. I do like I started reading Matthew McConaughey's, Green something, I can't remember the name of it right now. I like his book. TV shows, we're kind of, my husband and I live it all over the place. It's great when we can agree on a show we want to watch, because his choices are different than mine. But we really enjoyed The Last of Us, that series that's been on. We binge watched that one. Anything that Taylor Sheridan does, we're totally into all the, the Yellowstone. We watched 1883, 1923. We're really enjoying that one right now too. And anything to do with the ocean, I'm all over it. I love Disney, the ones that they have. Humpback whales are one of my favorite animals. Love watching anything like that. Movies, my favorite movie of all time is Remember the Titans. I'm not really sure why. It's a football movie. Yeah. My husband coaches football, and when I told him when we first met, he goes, really? It's a football movie. And I'm like, I don't know, I love the story, I love the kids and the characters in it, and the messaging. So that would always be my favorite movie if anybody ever asked me. So
that's awesome. Those are great recommends. So thank you for sharing that with us, because those are fantastic. So what do you do in your spare time?
Well, we got a new puppy about a year, not a year ago. It'll be a year ago on the 8th of April. She's a year and a month right now. So she's been a handful. She's a Labradoodle, so she's a lot of work. She's a very energetic dog. Sometimes of her life, what were we thinking? But she brings a lot of love and a lot of joy into our lives. And we're really happy and appreciative to have that with us. I love to cook and bake. And during the week, not so much because I don't always have the time. I like to work out. So by the time I get home, work out, get ready for tomorrow a little bit, the next day, and then find something to cook. It's not always the forethought, like biggest thing I want to do. But on the weekends, if I can, cook up a really nice meal, do some baking. I love to bake. That's another big one of mine. I do that. I'm big on organizing. My house is very organized. People, walk in and gotta go. Can I touch? I'm like, nothing. I'm kidding. I'm all, neat and tidy. I don't like things out of place. It's taken my husband to get used to that one. But in the winter, in the summer, I like to get outside and do the gardening. I like being in the yard, stuff like that. Walks. I love to take the dog for a walk when it's not really cold. Her and I can be gone for like hours, sometimes hour and a half. That's been a really fun thing to do. And it's really weird. I've never thought I was into this, but when we were in Dallas just recently, my sister lives down there. We went to some antique stores and consignment stores. I like to collect barware, like glassware for my bar, and I've started really enjoying it. Like, it's fun when you go to some places. So that's kind of been my kind of thing right now. I'm trying to, not a lot in Winnipeg, Manitoba, but when we go travel, we kind of stop now and do that. So that's fun.
Yeah, and it gives you a reason to go check out something you wouldn't otherwise maybe look into. That's super neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what do you do to recharge?
All that stuff.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. If I need to recharge, I sometimes always say to myself, oh, I'm just going to relax and lie on the couch and watch some TV shows. It never happens. It never happens. There's always something I can find to do. I like, like my house tidy, so that'll kind of take me. But sometimes I'll just say, oh, I should maybe just straighten this out. And like 2 hours later, it's like, oh, wow, that's taken me 2 hours, and I've had music on and I'm enjoying myself. And so that makes me happy. And the walks are a big one. Exercising is big for me too. I took some time off just because of some, sore back and stuff like that. And when I get back into it, I'm like, oh yeah. As much as it's hard to sometimes mentally say, okay, go do it, you need to. Yeah. And find the time when you do, and you kind of go, oh yeah, I really do miss that. So for me, that's one of the ones. You forget everything, and it's a good stress piece. I like that. So that would kind of be my, everything I said before, and those on top of it.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Yeah, those are all super great, great for definitely recharging and de-stressing. So thank you so much for joining me today and taking the time to kind of share a little bit about you and give us a little bit more on your perspective. I do appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Okay, thanks. I'll see you at the next meeting.